Hello everyone, this is Suintern and today we are going to be talking about the IKA airdrop. Welcome to Noodlers Corner, and this is the first episode of this podcast with me and my friend here, CetusDegen. So this is going to be exciting. We are going to be having this podcast, and this is our first edition, so we're going to be having it at least twice a week. We try to have it more times, but let's see how it goes. But we want to be talking about what is happening in the Sui ecosystem. So this is like the Sui ecosystem community podcast, where me and CetusDegen, the number one ambassador for Cetus, decentralized exchange protocol, we are going to be talking about the IKA airdrop and the whole reaction that's coming to it. Now, quickly, I know that many people are not happy. I'll be giving CetusDegen the microphone, the floor to air his view on it. I also will air my view on it, but let me make a level playing field for everyone involved. If you are a team member watching this video, if you are a community member watching this video, if you are an institution watching this video, an angel investor watching this video, I want to lay it down for everyone to understand each other, so we know why we are making such a video. So in the Sui ecosystem, we've noticed that it's quite being a culture for most airdrops to not satisfy the community. So as someone that have studied token engineering once, I didn't really go deep, but I was able to kind of see that there are 4 parties to every token drop. So when you are a token engineer and you are trying to form a tokenomics to satisfy everyone, there are 4 different parties you need to take note of. So I was discussing with CetusDegen before this podcast, and I was like, okay, let me now explain them. Let me let you guys know. So it's not just about the community. I know the community is complaining, and he's going to be voicing out and he's going to be representing the community today. But I want you guys to see something with me. Now, there are 4 key parties. Now, the team, which are the founders and the core contributors of the project. Now, the institutions, which are the VCs, the angel investors, and funds providing early capital and seamless strategic support. These are the institutions. They are tagged. This is the second party. Now, the third party is the community. They are the retail users, the believers, and ecosystem participants who buy in for utility, belief, and speculation. Me and you, who also farm the airdrop. So the 4 people is the exchange, like Gate.io. Now, this entity facilitates the sale. So Gate.io was used for this. Now, with these 4 different parties in mind, you need to make sure you satisfy the 4 of them. And as a token engineer, it is very, very hard to do that. We must acknowledge the fact that it's not easy, because one day, as a community member, you can graduate to become an institution. You can become a VC. You can invest into projects, and if the token is being allocated all over to the communities, you as an institution, you will not be happy to invest into these projects. And these projects are majorly are being facilitated, especially at the initial stages, by the investment. We are seeing what Noodles Finance is having right now. Investors are investing into the project, and this project wants this token to be successful. They want to have return on investment by seeing the success of that protocol. So if you are going to just satisfy the community and the investors are not going to satisfy it, it's not good. The long-term success of crypto and the 3 startups in general is not going to be very nice. What can you say about the interest of the institution into these projects?
I think at the moment, the institution, we don't know. We've not heard anything from them. The main people complaining right now
is the community.
But a good token engineer should satisfy everyone. At least it may not be 100%, but at least to a certain extent. Yeah. But currently, the community is not pleased.
So quickly,
we don't know how the institution invested in the project, so we don't know if they are pleased or not. But in quote, as we know, the institution are always pleased, the VCs are always pleased. That is why most projects don't want to get VCs involved. They don't want to get big institutions involved, because they are already, you have to play by their terms. So I think the most people that receive the bad treatment most time is the retailers, the community.
That's true. That's true. And we can also say that sometimes institutions, they actually lose money in this investment.
Okay,
yeah, they lose money sometimes. There are projects that do not do well, or do not manage these funds very well, or do not make the tokenomics to favor the institutions, or sometimes the token unlock schedule does not favor the institution. So all these things comes to mind, because as we, the community, is complaining about the locking of the token, institutions also get their tokens locked. But let's leave that aside. Let's go on to the team. The team also have their own allocation, which is most times locked too. And the Launchpad is where there's a huge comma, because with the Launchpad, we had Gate.io was the exchange that was used to launch this token. They facilitated this TGE. Actually, I think this is the first time we are seeing something like this in the Sui community. It's actually a very great development.
Yes.
There was collaboration with USD1, which is from the Trump team. One Liberty Finance, the Trump crypto project. So I can tell you, it was a good launching. They did not really dump from the valuation as at the time, the valuation that it came into Gate.io, Gate exchange with. So quickly, I want to say something that this is my own opinion before I go to you to represent the community. Let me defend the strategy that's been used with this mDrop. Now, mDrop was instituted because of they were trying to satisfy everybody. But one of the biggest, when I was learning about token engineering, I noticed that one of the biggest headaches you can have when crafting this is a craft. You need to be really good with economics. You need to really be good with different fields to be able to combine them and get what people will be satisfied with. Because the community is the loudest, but they are not the ones with the highest power in the project. So if you are considering these things, the mDrop mechanism by the SuiLearn team, they implemented it to satisfy. This is because no one is perfect, but they try to do something to that end to try to satisfy these four parties now that we've graded them into. Now, if we are trying to satisfy these four parties and the mDrop was introduced, there are many things that are involved. Let me give you an example. The attention token, I was happy with the mDrop because it's actually worked perfectly. When the airdrop was airdrop to different users, I was given, I think, 2,000, and before that 7th day, it actually pumped by a whole lot compared to, it was at 10 million market cap. But by the time I was withdrawing my token on the 7th day, paying only the gas fee, of course, I noticed that it was at 50 million market cap. So it worked. There was no this huge selling there was no sell pressure. There was no sell pressure. So quickly, it worked very well, but it was on a 7 days mDrop intercession. So I want to say this. It did not work for send, but I think there is something that can be done. I think if you guys can comment, what do you think about this mDrop? Because it has matured over time, and I think they are working on it with the SuiLearn team, other projects coming up on Sui that are going to employ this. They are working on it to make sure that when this token is going to come outside, there's a possibility that it may even be worth more than what it is today. We can have this scenario whereby at the end of the maturity of this mDrop, after it has, what I'm trying to say is this. When it matures, we may see a 200 million market cap. IKA is developing a community. They have IKA Nigeria, they have IKA, I think, Vietnam, and I think some other countries. They are adopting the same community building strategy from the parent network, which is Sui network. So many things can come up. Many things can come up. They can do well. Community is the backbone of every strong blockchain network. So what I'm trying to say is this. Let's look at this from different angles. If we all satisfy the community, we should remember that IKA is not as big of an entity as Mr. Labs that can satisfy more of the community and still be able to sustain itself, because they don't have such large coffers of funds to run the, because you have to think about the team. You have to think about this launchpad that's going to make the distribution of the token this wide. They have to pay. So that was why they had an airdrop in the Gate.io team. So trying to defend IKA here, I'm trying to say this. One thing we must keep in mind is that these four parties must be satisfied to a certain level, but they cannot satisfy everyone 100%. It has almost never been done. And unfortunately, whenever you do not satisfy the community, they have the loudest voice and they have the most catastrophic ripple effect on the project. But I believe something can be done to the mDrop. In my own opinion, I would say let us try to work on the mDrop so that it will favor, because right now community are the biggest people that are taking the largest pain from the mDrop strategy. So what do you see defending the community? What can you say about this?
Okay, first of all, I'll pick it up from the parent network, Sui. See, one thing I want projects to do is don't overpromise and underperform. First of all, IKA is a good utility project on Sui that all of us love and want to see them succeed. But I think the first problem came from when they started the key and burning stuff and upgrade stuff. I needed two of the NFT, yeah, I needed two of it. I wanted an airdrop, but at the point I found out they changed the system. One thing that Sui did that made everyone on Sui real and that brought everyone on Sui right now is Sui came out plain. They were transparent, they were clear, and they were straightforward. They said they won't give airdrop to nobody. The only people they want is real community. But IKA did not do the same. IKA rolled out airdrop farming pool to the community and promised they will give airdrop to the community. People born Sui so they can receive good airdrop. They never said that during allocation distribution that it's going to be mDrop, that you won't be able to claim everything on the day of TGE. They never said this at the initial point. So doing this later on is first of all a bad signal, very bad for the community. The allocation for the community is good, but the claiming process is terrible. So that is it. So okay. the did good allocation, but they did not allow the community to claim. Let's get it clear.
So IKA, you can see CetusDegen here is saying that the claiming process is not a good one.
Yes.
And they would like the mDrop to be adjusted to the situation. For me, if you ask me, one input I can say should be done to the mDrop is, if you want to allow people to claim their mDrop, don't make them pay. That's what I would say. Let them lose some amount of their tokens instead. It's too much. Okay, for example, we are going to be delving into some reactions we are having from the community. Now, we are doing this podcast to make sure that all projects are actually going to benefit from the voices from the community. So
yes,
we are not just caring about what the community wants. We also want the project to succeed, because the more the projects on Sui succeed, and the more the community succeeds. Now, one of the things that someone said here, I'm going to be bringing some points from, is this. Now, look at this. Let's say, for example, SuiDemiGod here. He said, so I put in over 3,000 Sui, what's around 12K now, to level up my IKA NFT.
All right.
This was, if you are farming the IKA NFT, you know
yes, what it means.
And now I have to pay 7,361 Sui, worth around 29K, to claim my allocation, which is worth around 29K too at current price. So he's paying 7,361 Sui to like claim his the same amount of what his Sui is, what the IKA tokens he got is worth. He's paying it. Now, what I would have said is this, that there should be a way that instead of paying 7,361, he loses maybe that same value in mDrop, or any amount, whatever you guys want to adjust it to be. Like, let the tokens be dropping. Since the mDrop seems to be like maturity. So if you have 10,000, after day 1, they release 10, day 2, 20, day 3, 30. So as the days goes by, until that final day that it matures, you can be able to like withdraw some amount of them.
Yes.
So maybe in that way, they have their token to themselves, but they can still withdraw at least some amount, because sometimes these people need this token for different purposes, for staking, for DeFi, for many other things in the Sui ecosystem. It also allows the Sui ecosystem to have tokens they can use for different activities. So guys, let's try to employ this. So this is one of the tweets we got. So I want you to also check from what Silverhard said. I think he was saying something about his own reaction to everything is IKA cooked. It's either IKA cook or IKA cooks you, and there's a cook. MF Squid Market owner. That's the Nigerian saying for some people who were cooked. So what do you say about this reaction? Do IKA really cooked people?
Yes.
So the whole community, no one is actually happy. Right?
Nobody. I've not seen anyone happy.
It's very bad.
It's bad.
It's very bad from the community side of things. Some people need to be actually happy to some certain extent. At least a percentage of the community. The level of investment this community have made to the project, they believe in the project. It's not really good. So let's move to Joshua, the big Josh, Sui Nigeria founder. He said, this is the chart of the first Sui Echo token. Now he's talking about SEN, Sweden utility token. He said it is down 85% in 7 months. For context, we supposedly in the greatest bull market ever, according to him. IKA just launched using the same mDrop model. What will the chart look like in 7 months? Bullish on double up app and whatever magic it is they did for the token launch. Also, this is me falling for entry. Need a quick 2x. So he's falling. He wants to get into it. So what is your say on this? Is he right that in the next 7 months, maybe we are going to see such a dump? Is it possible?
I have not seen, first of all, IKA's tokenomics. Have you seen that?
I think they have 10 billion tokens in total, and I think around 10% is in circulation at the moment.
10%.
So the unlocks, I've not really seen it at the moment, but let's see what's going to happen. So we most likely depend on the unlocks, I think.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, for a token to pump, as we know, for the sell pressure not to be much on the token, there has to be a means of sustaining the token. That means when people are selling, there should be people buying. So if there is no way, I don't know the utility of this IKA at the moment because I've not read the tokenomics. If there is no way for them to sustain sell pressure, definitely I want to be clear, it's going down.
So CetusDegen does not believe that IKA token is going to go up over the next 7 months. I believe anything can happen.
Yes, I believe anything can happen. Just my bias.
But his bias is that he's supporting the community and he believes that it's going to go down. Now let's go to Zibah. He said, no crying. In the casino, they say, just cry in peace, lads. At this price, I guess IKA is currently owing everyone the same amount they invested in the pre-sale with the mDrop model. What he's saying is that everyone that went into the pre-sale, whatever they spent, IKA is still owing them that money. So just imagine being forced to not claim an airdrop because you'll be at a loss if you do. Where is our freedom gone? It's crying. So Zibah is crying here and saying, man, that
our freedom is gone.
Our freedom is gone. We need our freedom back. So this is the community voice I'm trying to read out. And next we go to Wara, the people's DJ. Now Wara is saying he has been putting up some memes. Guys are wild. Who made this? Where is it? Obviously, there's a meme of someone holding the tickets of IKA and saying it's worthless. But still again, he said, I'm sick of people complaining about their airdrop. Sell me all your IKA at 0.001 and F off. So he's trying to say that, look, sell me them all. He's buying a ton of them. I think he's really bullish. Maybe, maybe not. So he also hosted a space when the TGE was live at the first hour. 490 people attended. So guys, thank you very much for following the first episode of Noodlers Corner.